Okay, so I'm going to share kind of a quick little rundown about how when you decide to start moving to the left, whether it's because Democrats have been disappointing and you find that you're flanking them on the left because they're basically in the middle, or whether you're somebody who's on the right and you're like, maybe we shouldn't be shooting people in the street randomly, and you're unhappy about other things, maybe the fact that the stock market keeps going up and for some reason that's the only measure of the economy, even though I don't think people are super happy right now. There's a bunch of different places you can get your news, and I want to suggest a few that are left specific. So there's the obvious. If you are going to start following and you just want kind of broad brush, you don't want to get into political theory or whatever, you don't want to get super deep into it, you probably want something like Jon Stewart or John Oliver, like the late night kind of, it's still comedy, but it's, what's that weird guy up to this time, who I don't understand that myself. Like, I used to watch a lot of that, and I still like Jon Stewart a lot. I like his takes on things. At some point, it's got to stop being comedy, though, because it's not funny anymore. This is not funny what's happening. This is deeply serious, and I don't feel like that a lot of these shows give it the weight that it needs. So that is not something that I recommend if you really want to get in any way actually involved, but it's better than nothing. So if you want to stick with comedy, but you want to move to like podcasts, you want stuff to listen to. So my first was the Young Turks, and I found out that somebody at my job was also listening to them. It's a starter for a lot of people. If you're moving to the left, if you want to understand what at least the opinions are on the left, if you want to just hate watch, it's good too. I can't watch that show anymore because the two hosts have moved so far to the center and being sponsored by a betting company, and like there's just too much. I just can't. There's been a few really, really, really bad takes that I disagree with. John Idarola is actually still on the Young Turks. I think he has his own show, but he's probably still on the main show every now and then. I can't watch any of that anymore because I just fundamentally disagree with the movement that they're, even in spite of the fact that they claim to be like the home of the progressives, the end all be all. I disagree. I don't follow them anymore. It's an option. It's still out there. It is a good starter for a lot of people that ultimately move into more serious shows. And to be clear, it's not like a comedy thing. It's more of a straight news show, but it's always been on like YouTube. If you want something that's funny and, you know, talking about the collapse that's going on, Titus podcast is really good. I've always liked him as a comedian. I didn't realize he was as politically aware as he is. And it's always him, his wife, and Ken Highlander, which I don't know the relationship. I don't know how they all know each other, but the show is really good. It's funny. They obviously are exasperated at times, but they try to keep things light. And again, it's hard for me to watch that stuff because I think that anger is probably the right reaction, or being motivated to do something. But again, not everybody can deal with that. So it's a really good show as far as following current politics, and he has a borderline encyclopedic knowledge. Like, he just pulls out stats. I disagree with he seems to think Republicans are just the worst and Democrats are, have all the good intentions. I think Democrats are feckless and useless. I think, honestly, he'll probably get there at some point because they're going to let him down enough to where he'll probably share that opinion, but he's not there yet. Another good one, if you want things that are kind of funny, is some more news with Cody Johnston. He does a YouTube show. I think it's a podcast too, but he does deep dives into current people and politics, and it's good because he shows the frustration. He plays basically a news person that is frustrated. But they also do little breakdown shows at the beginning and the end of the week, and that's with 2 other people. I really enjoy sometimes taking time off and not getting so serious. But even they are getting pretty exasperated, and it's hard to make light of this stuff now. So that's a good show. As far as comedy, that's kind of all I have. If you want a normie, kind of a very left but normie coded show, I don't know how to put that better. The Majority Report with Sam Cedar and Emma Vigeland. Very solidly left takes, very well thought out, extremely well learned and versed in just what is going on politically. It's a show that it's more serious, news coded, I guess. It's something that if you had somebody that was interested in leaning to the left at all, I would say I would send them to that, because it is very well thought out. And I don't think it would scare anybody off. It's very, it still works within the parameters of what's going on now. It's not like a revolutionary show that's trying to overthrow anything. But it's good. I like it. And I would definitely recommend it to people that are non-political types that want to get into it. Because he explains things very well in history as well. If you want stuff that's kind of an entry point, Kyle Kalinski's really good. Brian Tyler Cohen is really good. He does a lot of legal breakdowns, as far as laws that are going to get passed or may or may not get passed, things that are potentially going to get overturned in the Supreme Court. He does a lot of things with different lawyers that is really good if that's your thing. Midas Touch, off the top of my head, if you're a legal nerd or want to be, it's a bunch of lawyers that are very good, very very left-leaning and very solid political takes. One show I recommend, if you like breakdowns, deep dives into people specifically, Behind the Bastards is really good. It's a podcast that I just can't recommend it enough, as far as if you want to know people like Peter Thiel and some of these people on the fringes of politics, not necessarily political people always. They go back in history sometimes, but it's always people that suck, and sometimes it's modern people that really interesting show. Very well researched, deep dives into people. Cannot recommend that enough. If you're getting really left, there's always people like Hassan Piker. He is on Twitch, God knows how many hours a day. You'll never catch up with his content because he's just a fountain. Not for everybody. Very left leaning. If it's your thing, you'll really like it. And God knows there's more than you'll ever be able to catch up with. The ones that I personally like, that I follow regularly, It Could Happen Here is a really good show. It's very left-leaning. There's activist kind of energy. They've done some really good stories. One on the Darien Gap, where it's like a funnel for people migrating to the U.S. In the jungle that is just a meat grinder. They've done so many really good shows, and it is often they do try to have fun a little bit. They do try to crack jokes, but also they are clearly aware of the seriousness of the situation, and I think give it the weight when it requires. I really like the show, and again, it's not for everybody. It is very far left, but it is very, it is up my alley for sure. I really like it, and again, if it's your thing, you're really gonna like that show. Another one is, let's see, if you know anybody that is a veteran, or I guess that's kind of their main thing, Colonial Outcasts is a really good one too. There's a couple kinds of people that get out of the military. There's the people that are like, what did I just do? There's the people that are like, hell yeah. And then there's the people that go, why are we doing any of this? And these guys fall into that, trying to think of their, Mark Wayne is one of them, and Greg Stoker is the other. And they have other people on pretty regularly. They are far left, and they are clearly, rightly pissed at the colonial mentality, hence the name, that this country's taken. And it's one of the few podcasts that look at things, I think, from that direction, from the, oh, this is an empire, and it may not be a literal empire like the British Empire was, or the Roman Empire, but we are an empire nonetheless, and we're trying to stretch instead of what is most likely, which is start to collapse. It's a really good show, and they do the same thing that I do, which is they learn about something and they go, okay, what do you do? Because that's the next step. What do you do? What do you actually get out and try to accomplish that can make you feel less out of control? And in reality, there's only so much you can do as one person, but they are getting into organizing, and they had some people from the Black Panther Party on, which is reorganizing, and another, like a kind of an add-on, which is the Panther Party, that are going hand in hand. Very interesting and very action oriented. Like, they are trying to create something, a system to, hey, these are the steps you can take to take local action and to begin to deal in your community. It's hard when you are on the left. It's hard to find some of the people that kind of align with your beliefs. God knows if you just watch the news, you just get the same 3 takes from different people. All of these have somewhat slightly different alignments, but very much all of them are on the left. Very much, I don't have anybody on that. I wouldn't recommend that anybody that doesn't, I feel, that wouldn't be grounded in reality. Like, there's a lot of people that are left-wing that are living in some fantasy that they're gonna be part of some revolution, and things may fall apart, but it's awfully hard to plan that kind of stuff. So I like people that deal more in reality. I would highly recommend finding 1 or 2. If there's more, you can always comment with people that you like. That's all off of my list. I'm sure there's more. Francesca Fiorentini is another one off the top of my head. She has a show called Habituation Room. She's a comedian, but has been at multiple protests and does some activism. But find some people that, whatever your degree, that you can handle. Like, if it's people that are very serious, that's fine. If you have to watch shows that are kind of a mix of comedy, that's fine. But just understand that this is serious. Like, and I know people do the comedy to break up the tension. I don't know if that's the thing we need right now. I think we need tension. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if anybody has suggestions that I didn't think of. I used to follow a lot more shows than I do. I try to keep it to a few because I have some mental issues of my own to worry about, not bathing in the horror show that is what's currently going on. So that's all for today. Hopefully, like, I'm surprised anybody's watching, but there's a few. And if you like this, I'm glad. If you don't, but either way, I'll see you tomorrow.